Well, hello, and it's we are back. Yes,
I guess another week, it's another week, another TV show.
it is. Yes, and what a doozy we have today because we are talking about season 2 of Pretty Little Liar original scenes.
Original Sin, yes. But it's titled Summer School. Pretty Little Liars Summer School.
They're confusing me because they're also called Chapter 11, 12, and 13 because we're going to talk about the first episodes of the show.
But, yes, because fun fact, we recorded this for the first two, but due to us not
when you say us, it's me.
Yeah, due to us being very unorganized with our thoughts, it didn't work out as planned. So we will be talking about Pretty Little Liars. We're going to make this a series, hopefully weekly, if not bi-weekly, either way. David, why don't you take it off? Like, what is the first 3 episodes? Can you give us a summary?
Okay, so we got 3 episodes so far. First episode happened roughly 6 months after the massacre from season 1 that happened in 2022. So they're expecting us to actually remember what happened. So 6 months after the massacre, the girls eagerly await the verdict in A's trial, as well as much needed break, until a failed exam condemned them to a fate worse than death, summer school. While working through the traumas in group therapy session with Dr. Sullivan, Mouse investigates spooky online legend, Imogen cope with fear over her baby's safety, and Kelly become an active member of a cult-like youth group. So that would be the first episode. Second episode.
Mm-hmm. That first episode.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the first episode. Mm-hmm. The second episode was actually pretty much haunted by increasingly disturbing hallucination. Imogen attempt to forge new identity outside of Millwood. As summer kick-off, Noah reconnect with old friends, Tabby meet a new movie buff match, Farron get a job as Millwood Community Pool's only female lifeguards, and Mouse is threatened by an unknown entity. And finally, episode 3 was as Pretty Little Liars planned Massey's birthday party. Tabby and Imogen face boys' problem. Noah clashes with Jane and Farron spill her secrets.
Ooh.
Yeah, thank you, Pretty Little Liars Wiki, for these summaries because it was quite hard to actually summarize everything that happened, especially on episode 1.
So dramatic. And one thing that we need to put here is the photo you sent me of the fact that every guy in Pretty Little Liars looks like the guys on this photo. What was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first time I was doing research on the show, and I was just like, damn, they're all looking like one of these toxic boyfriend from the game's Dream Phone. For those who remember that game from the 90s.
Who's got a crush on you?
Hello, hunks! It's Dream Phone, the electronic game with the talking phone. To win, call guys, get clues, figure out which guy really likes you.
He's not wearing a hat.
Bye, guys! What'd he say?
My secret.
Ah.
You.
He's not at the beach.
See you later, guys. It's Dan! Dan, my man!
You're right. I really like you.
Yes!
Dream Phone, the hot electronic talking phone game.
It's for you.
I'm your secret admirer.
So, for episode 1, what do you think it got right?
Okay. I've got more to say about what he got wrong, but I will say what he got right. I love the design of the title. Beginning, the title design is amazing. I love the way actually they're really creating this ambience of secrets, and I just love it. The killer design, we see it at the end, but the killer design is really cool. And I did love a lot of the homage to the 80s slasher, as well as the very camp dialogues and situations. Personally.
Okay, that's good. Like, you're giving it very, very generous.
Yes, I do.
For me, what it got right was I like some of the music.
True.
That's thumbs up. I would say the killer was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It stops there for me. Sorry, guys.
Really? Okay. Well, so if we go back to the bad on episode 1, I do actually. One thing I found really, really hard is actually was very confusing. The big issue, and I think we talked a lot about it with you, Anthony. We're actually missing 22 episodes shows seasons. Right now they give us 8, 9, maybe 10 episodes a season, and then we have to wait for 25 years for the next season. And I'm sorry, my
Unfortunately.
brain doesn't keep information that well. So
Same.
when I started watching the show, I was just like, okay, who are they? What happened? What? Okay, who is this person? What are they talking about? What? Pretty much. And you felt
Yeah.
like the first 20 minutes was actually like a full season in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like it was more of a recap episode. I mean, it's been like a year and a half since we last saw it, and I was just like, who are these people? I remember the main characters, if that helps. I remember that she had a baby that she gave up for adoption. And there was a big point where we didn't know if the show was even going to be renewed because HBO Max, or I think they call themselves Max now, they have not advertised it at all. I think I saw it from a Facebook, just a random Facebook group posting the poster for it. So
yeah, eventually they're gonna call himself Hem, which would be fitting with a show with a killer called Hay. But yeah, I think like same thing. I actually thought it was cancelled, and what I found really weird with episode 1 really is actually they were acting like it's a good thing to try to summarize what happened, but they tried to summarize and add in new information. And if I remember correctly, the end of season 1, actually the killer hasn't been caught, so they needed to actually catch the killer. And instead of actually doing it for an entire season, they do it in the first 20 minutes. So it got really confusing to me. Like
Yes.
there was something happening all the time, and they're just showing you these people that you're supposed to know, but my brain doesn't work that way. I don't know who they are. Like I don't know who they are. Like they're having this woman who actually shouting at a girl in the supermarket. It was just like, okay, so it took me a while to actually get back into it. But they tried to actually give a bit of a summary, but it was I think they would have needed one full episode about it and not actually like go in 20 minutes. That would have been easier. Or even actually completely go maybe like 6 months later straight away and actually start the show with actually the character in a nice setting and not actually already in action in actually danger straight away. That could have been much maybe easier.
To be fair, they could have just did it like the OG did it. They could have just said last time on Pretty Little Liars and just give us a full rundown of the main points.
That's true. The bad thing I have as well, I can't stand the song. I just can't stand the song.
Is it the piercing singing this one, or is it a cover version?
It is a cover version. It'd be so terrible. I just can't stand it. Already the song after six seasons of the original, I couldn't stand the song either. I was actually just fast forwarding the song because I couldn't stand it anymore. But this is another type of really bad. It's just no, sorry.
David is a hater.
I'm not a hater. It's just a bad song. Just if you want to do a song, just use the original, bloody. There you go.
Yeah.
French mode activated.
Okay. So episode 2 was when I started to get more into it. So I guess the good things for me for episode 2 was I felt like they were pretty much trying to make the timing ambiguous, and it was a lot of callback to things that I kind of grew up with, being a Y2K kid, pretty much. I grew up in that area. So seeing a lot of the fashion, even down to the old HTML on the website, it was fun. It was fun, and I feel like this show just tries to make the timing very ambiguous, or maybe they're trying to do decade, like they're going from different decades to each episode because. We haven't gotten to season 3 yet, but you're right. It did feel kind of like another different time. But episode 2 really kind of felt like very Y2K-ish. I'll throw back to the Y2K horror movies and everything else, or the early 2000s. I don't know what you kids call it these days, but
Yes, old man.
Mm.
Mm.
What about for you?
Again, I actually love I really love the fact that we don't know which period it is. I love the nod at different horror movies, and actually, like, this is, for now, this is kind of an issue I have, is I don't know if the writers are doing it on purpose, or they're actually very bad writers. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that actually, like, it felt like the shooting the scene with just like a bit of a second of actually too much, when they actually say something which is just too bad, just like they say, "Oh, we are just underage girl, you're 23. Hey, look, you start to get crowd feet in your face. You're not 16." And they just say just a slightly longer on the face, and it's just like, they know.
Yes, and for me, I really thought the actress that played Imogen might have been in that age range, because I grew up with her and she was always like a baby in everything. But seeing that she's 23 or 24, but I was actually kind of shook. And if anyone has seen the Bridge to Terabithia, you all remember her as Maybelle, the one that would hold her eyes together and just lick out her tongue all the time, like,
What?
What just happened? You just walked away.
yeah.
Am I in the right show? Okay.
But yeah, it's good to see that she's working, and I think she's a good actress. I think she's really good in this role.
For me, like, what I liked about the original Pretty Little Liars, and a lot of the show that I really enjoy, is when they're actually going out there with the ideas. And there's one of the best ideas so far is the fact that one of the character being into this kind of church group, and they are doing a redemption house, and the Catholic girls are actually fighting for the role of the premarital sex girl. That scene, it make my day. It was just hilarious to actually see this Christian girl trying to be the best sin, because actually Martha, I'm just going to be the primitive girl. Just like, what? It just make me laugh.
Yeah, it's also kind of funny to me with the love interests that are kind of introduced in this episode, like Christian, for example. But if you really look at it in context, it seems each love interest seems to hold a place in a decade. Like Christian is more high school music.
I was waiting for him to dance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, very much that. But then we got the other guy, Johnny, who is pretty much a Johnny Depp from Wish.
Oh yes.
And that's kind of screams more late 80s kind of. So it's very interesting to see that they're just taking a lot of the tropes and running wild with them.
And then let's not forget Harry Nelson, which is, I don't know what he's there for. The only thing he's been doing so far is being miserable, complaining he can't find a job, when everyone else is found a job in that episode, which is crazy.
And we also need to talk about that episode, how Imogen just casually walked up and just got a job pretending to be someone else. She didn't even, like, who needs Social Security, girl? Like, she was just, hi, my name is,
Lee Abel.
It was Lee Abel. And
really?
I'm just like, and the waitress is just like, or the owner of the restaurant is just like, okay, girl, get in there and marry the ketchup. And I'm like, if only it was that easy.
I know. Oh, do you have any experience? I work in a sub kitchen. Okay.
No references, nothing. Let's just get her out there.
But I think, and that's something I'm going to come back to for episode 3. But I think that is one thing for me, which is an issue with the writing, which is they seem to actually decide situation based on what they know they want something to happen, an action to happen, and for that they need to actually get, for example, the Imogen out of Millwood, and they found that situation. But as soon as the action is done, the entire situation is just void. Is not even talked again in this episode, the next episode, which is maybe that's an issue with the writing, I think. But when we know the producer is a guy who done Riverdale, we can't ask much.
Yeah. But to be fair, I feel like Riverdale went through a lot of decades as well. You know, they randomly had, and a lot of the seasons felt. I haven't watched the season with where they went full on supernatural with vampires and witches, but
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For
it
me,
even had a guest appearance from the Sabrina from the Netflix show. So
okay.
yeah.
I still haven't watched it. So maybe I should, or maybe not. I don't know.
What do you think? Should David watch it?
Oh, please. Otherwise, for me, like in this, one of the things that I found an issue for me is that let's go back into the characters we're looking at. We are setting up these characters. They actually went to a very, very difficult things last season. And they've been stalked and everything else. And they got this private phone number only for them. And they started giving numbers to everyone. When the scene before, they were talking, we have to be careful, only give number for ourselves. And the next scene, they're actually giving it to everyone. And you're just thinking, come on, really?
Well,
It feels just so weird.
Hopefully this wasn't written by ChatGPT, you know. Just here, take a bunch of scripts from, you know, these movies and just let's bring it all together.
There's a lot of note to a lot of movies, and personally, one of my favorite characters, really, it's the movie buff, Christian and Tabby, Tabby and Christian, because they're the closer to the person I am in terms of actually, like, well, you know me, so just talking about movies and stuff, and they kind of an entrance to actually a lot of the thing. Because they talk about a movie, and we're actually going to see a nod to it during the episode, which is very interesting. But let's really talk about something very important. I really hope we're going to see it before the end of the season. I want to see the pillow fight.
Oh yes, there's a pillow fight on the
There's
billboard.
a pillow fight adverts. For some reason, these there for a reason. Sorry, the pillow fight. I want to see a pillow fight. It has to be a pillow fight. So we actually also see for the first time the killer really do his thing, and it's gruesome, which was a positive for me. Like, it's nice to see some gruesome kill from time to time.
Yes, and also I feel like the killer is gender neutral, so we're gonna just say they.
Are you sure? Okay, there it is there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, also, I guess for episode 3, episode 3 was a little bit more. It's hard to sum up. I feel like it was a lot of the characters kind of getting their characters across. Like, we have Tabby, who comes and, you know, she goes on a date with a Christian guy. We've got I think Fallon, who's you know, the lifeguard. We got Imogen, who's finally left the other place that she, you know, was catfishing.
She never talked about. We never saw her quit. She just suddenly she worked in the creamery with Johnny from Wish.
Yeah, on episode 3 we got all this. So what do you think on episode 3? What do you think it got right?
Well, the first word I put in a review is annoyance galore, because I got so annoyed with the thing that happened in that episode 3. What really annoys me is, like, when you set up characters and actually you use a trauma just for certain scene and then you forget about them. For example, Imogen and Farah, No, was it Farah? No, Imogen and Tabby got, assaulted by Chad, if I remember, on season 1. So that surely is traumatic. Imogen was pregnant, had to give up a baby. Okay. But she she fell in love with Johnny, which is the worst, most toxic guy you can actually see in that show.
But she hasn't fallen in love with him yet. She likes him, okay?
Come
But
on.
yeah, I really hate how he just treated her like garbage until he went to her backstory. Was like, "Oh, you survived that? I just want to let you know I'm not a horrible guy."
Oh, now that you know, now that I know that you're broken, I want you because I know I can control you. Ooh,
Pretty much.
that's
Red
pretty much
flag.
what it is. And Imogen just like, yes, please control me. It's just like I really love the way she actually acted at first when she saw Johnny just talking to that girl, and then everything is reverted because they need a love interest. No, I'm sorry, no, doesn't work that way.
But we also
Same thing.
forget.
Mhm.
We
Go
also
ahead.
forget though that Tabby got her love interest Christian as well. But so she went on a date, and I just think it's just crazy. It had me dying laughing when you were like, "Oh, really? A 16-year-old has $10,000 worth of equipment in their basement."
Yeah, I was just like, oh yes, I'm do special effects in the basement. Have you seen the price of the bloody thing he was using in there?
maybe he got a special maybe he got a special deal on Temu.
Okay. And he got a bigger basement than most people. Just like, come on, please. And oh yes, my parents are artists. Okay, they live in New York because they don't have enough money, but she can spend
Mhm.
$20 or $30,000 on actually
I
equipment for
mean,
you to do little masks. Come on.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like the rent in New York City is like maybe 5,000, 4,000. So they moved to Millwood, but rent's probably like what, $800. I mean,
Yeah, just to spend 20,000 on the equipment for the son, who's a student.
Mhm.
Let's be
Mhm. And we also can't forget. I can't remember the other character's name. Oh, guys, we got to remember these names. The one who's pretty much Shay Mitchell. On this one. So basically, she is kind of on like a love flirtation, if you will, with Jen, the resident lesbian. You know,
the resident lesbian. Okay, we're gonna be cancelled with you. Okay.
I'm just sorry. They're just like, oh, let's just
So
put her
resident
in
lesbian.
here. Yeah, let's just put her in there. And I'm just like, okay. But yeah, so Jen's got a little bit of shady business going on. She does. I mean, she's stealing tips. I'm not sure what's going on at home, but yeah, her homegirl wasn't having it. She just like she covers for Jen at first, you know, counting the money, but then she's just like, oh, you gotta pay me back, and yeah, and flash forward to later in the episode where, of course, we have the resident pigs. It was just like, oh, you want a tip? Here's a tip, baby. Oh, I'll give you more than just a tip. And I'm just like,
look at you. Ooh.
I'm like, who wrote this? Like,
We're gonna have to make it for adult. This video with you now. Can't be for kids anymore. Yeah, it's just like for me, and this is the issue with the fact they only have 10 episodes or 9 episodes to go through the story. This kind of subplot would have lasted 2 or 3 episodes and would have seen actually the repercussion of it. Excuse me. But now, because they only have 9 episodes, they have to go quickly in the story. So usually this kind of subplot gets resolved straight away. And there is less of an impact for it. And this is a big issue with a lot of shows nowadays. Actually, a lot of subplots don't have no impact in the story. And that's one perfect example. When she stole the tip, oh, we know that she actually stole the tip. They actually, what's her name? I can't remember her name now either. The other little liar, she's pissed at her because she's done that. And 10 minutes later, they're friends again. Please. That doesn't work that way in real life.
Yeah, back in my day, when the original Pretty Little Liars was on TV, an arc like that would have lasted multiple episodes. Like I think
Mm,
there were a few episodes like that where something happened, and you get 2 or 3 episodes with them seeing them in the distance, giving them like the mean eye, the scowl, and then
mhm,
eventually they would talk towards the season finale. So yeah, I do miss this ability to story tell. But I
mm.
feel like that's more just the format nowadays, not really something that the show did bad. I think it's just, hey, it's what's the move nowadays. So
It is unfortunately, and but I did love the fact that we actually again a lot of nod of classics. For example, we actually because we have to talk about the fact that they kind of swerve this thing to see what's stake in that episode with. Let's go to a pizzeria, which is Five Nights at Freddy inspired for the end of the episode, and let's put it a bit of Jurassic Park with a scene in the kitchen, which is fun. It's fun to see this classic. If you actually know of this movie, it's actually fun to see they're actually using the same kind of shot to actually do the scene. That was fun, but at the same time, do we really need a recycled of actually what works? I would like Pretty Little Liars to actually do something different, and they really felt, oh, well, let's put that pizzeria there because it worked with Five Nights at Freddy. And it doesn't add anything to the thing at all. And that's one of the negative I have about that episode. A lot of
okay,
stuff was weird. The character reaction were weird. Like you're telling me that Tubby was a feminist, will actually use Jurassic Park as a favorite movie. When for the entire season 1 they were talking about being feminist, be proud to be black and everything else, but she using Jurassic Park, the movie with no black character, as a favorite movie. This is weird to me.
yes, I guess we're gonna label this under things they got wrong, right?
But yeah,
So
we are.
yeah, so
Like,
yeah, I definitely feel that.
it's just like the action they are making just betray completely what you expect them to act like, because they set up characters and we expect them to act a certain way, and when they don't, it's really frustrating. Um, the entire idea that actually, oh yes, she's actually was supposed to, she was assaulted in a basement by her best friend, and what she does, she goes to the basement with the person she just met the day before. Really? There's this thing like this which don't make any that doesn't make any sense to me. For I also put that is linked too much on what has been popular, which is something could get annoying if they actually keep recycling things. I'm
Yeah.
confused with also the grandmothers. Really confused with the grandmother because she said that someone told her that to bring a mouse to the pizzeria.
Yeah, I feel like she might have or is getting Alzheimer's or dementia, so the killer's trying to use that to their advantage in a
Yeah,
way.
but
So
that means she said, oh yes, your friend told me to bring you there, but we know that all the friends actually were in the same place at that time, and we had the killer. It's just like, for me, it's just very weird.
yeah, let's just hope that they're not doing an ode to the OG Pretty Little Liars where there's actually, oh no, we've already had the twin. Wait,
We
I keep
did.
forgetting that Kelly Kelly's sister. Because there were
Mhm.
2 twins, right? This is
They were
this is the
twin. We
issue.
don't know. We
Th-
don't know
This
who it
is yeah
is.
yeah. This is the issue with it being like a year and a half in between. Okay, so could the twin be the killer?
No,
It's
because one of the
possible.
twin died.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I know that you haven't read the Pretty Little Liar books and everything, but there's
No.
always a death, and there's always they're lurking in the shadows somewhere. That was kind of the whole like premise of, Pretty Little Liars, where they're are they
Well,
though? you know.
well, I'm sorry, but I think we can safely say after the original got a dollhouse with actually like certainly something would have cost $1 million with someone who doesn't have a house as actually one plot point in the full season. I think we can have everything in that show. We could get aliens, that would not surprise me. Let's be
It's true.
honest. And
Okay.
Also, let's talk about Harry Nelson. The character was okay in season 1. He was basically important in some way because he was a dancer with Farah. He hasn't done nothing. There's been 3
No,
episodes, the guy just been complaining and that's it, and now he's just going away because, oh, you lied to me, I need to think about it. Just like, kill him already, murder him, because he's useless right now.
Okay, so I guess we also need to talk about who we think the killer is.
Yeah, because that's a new stuff this season. We decided to actually try to guess who the killer is before the end of the season. That's going to be fun.
Now, I know your first guess was Dr. Sullivan, who, for those of you that aren't original Pretty Little Liars fans, she was in the original, and she was the therapist in that as well. So it's kind of interesting to see that she's the one that kind of bridges these two together. But David, why do you think she's the killer?
For me, I would actually say because things kind of changed between episode 1 and episode 3. So episode 1, the reason why I thought it was her, because for me, she's the only one that actually have knowledge of everything the girls are doing. She's a psychiatrist, so she actually are able to actually one-to-one with every main characters. And for me, that was maybe like a thing for me. Because the other characters, like Christian, for you, Christian was actually one of the possible either accomplice or killer. I found that Christian is way too easy. Because, he's everything that women just dream of.
But I
just
mean, let's be honest. Those of us, like, for example, that watched the last Scream, it was pretty obvious who the killer was. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just made it obvious.
And but going to episode 3, and because I am pretty sure they're going to be using the Redemption House as a finale scene, it could actually be that woman in the church. She's weird.
I think for me, right now, I think maybe the lifeguard team could be in on it, but we don't really see them any other time outside of the pool. But also, now that I'm thinking about it, when was the last time we really seen Kelly with the girls when they're being butchered? I think the first time was at the episode 3, when she was at the party with Mouse.
Yeah, because she was invited. Otherwise, she kept spending her time with her boyfriend, trying to actually not to have sex.
I don't know, a little sus.
I don't know. I feel like it could be. I don't know. What annoyed me actually, she called it a Final Girls. In Mouse is called the Final Girls, and I found the term Final Girls is very particular to a certain kind of audience. Would actually someone who's not doesn't understand horror movie would actually know what the term Final Girl is? It's just weird. It's just like I'm confused.
Okay.
I'm a bit confused with it.
So you're circling back to Christian, is what I'm hearing.
I don't think Christian is, because Christian always been actually with the other character when the victim when someone got killed. And let's be honest. Let's see. We got 3 people who got killed. We don't really mention them much in the police is not involved or nothing, which is weird to me.
But it would have to be someone that's watching from a distance, because how else would you know to kill the girl that was against Kelly's part or whatever? How would you know, Mouse's grandmother has Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever? So, like, it had to be somebody watching from a distance that's kind of in the network, but maybe not as obvious.
For me, that could be that girl in a church, or it could be the psychiatrist. For me, the psychiatrist fit the bill, but I might be wrong.
I don't know. The moms are acting a little shady too. I was like,
Which one?
Oh, we don't have a resident lesbian. That's right, because the moms are also okay. So pardon me.
No, the
That's
reason
right.
there's been on a cruise somewhere.
Yeah. I was thinking about that because the moms are.
Which I wonder
And
if actually they are not being kidnapped. But that's my episode I put in my head. They've been kidnapped from the beginning. We're going to see them basically in a redemption house as a piece for just like, oh, we can't condemn. We have to condemn homosexuality. Look at these two lesbians. You know,
yeah, the moms.
I can feel
keep,
that.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. And what else? So I guess has Imogen's mom body been found? I can't remember in the last season.
No, she was actually Imogen mom was actually in the bath, dead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was an homage to it. Pretty
Well,
much.
here's my thing with Pretty Little Liars, and I know it's on a different network and different writers, but Pretty Little Liars always has a way of making you believe someone's actually dead, but they're not. So it's and they always find a way to make it work, which is always kind of odd to me. But like for example, for those of you that don't know, spoiler alert, in the original Pretty Little Liars, in the book, I think it was Allison that had the twin, or I think Allison does have a twin in the Pretty Little Liars original, but the twin is trans. So
yeah, that's in the show.
Yeah, that's in the show. But in the books, there is a twin that I think is Allison. It's been kind of foggy, but they actually turn out to be Spencer. Spencer is actually the one who has the twin, and Spencer's twin is the one that's been doing everything. So this whole time, nobody knew Spencer had a twin. So yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, like, are they going to try to do something like that, or probably not. They probably want to do something out of left field to kind of separate themselves, but it would be interesting to see.
I would say it's actually really leaning on the camp right now. Some saying that from the dialogue to the references to some of the sequences, you're really leaning towards a camp and kind of a John Waters fan. I can see some kind of John Waters influence to it, which is really hilarious. Is it a bad show? No. Is it a good show? Right now, I'm a bit on the fence because I would be really annoyed if they decide to bring a killer that we never seen before. Well, you have 9 episodes.
I mean, well, we can't forget about the obvious person who could be the killer. It would be the actual killer's mother, the one that they're terrified of. I mean, it's too obvious, right? But hey, I don't know.
There's that, and there's the other thing, like we don't talk about the fact that he was the principal who actually was responsible for the killing in season 1, and he seemed to have disappeared completely. It's just weird. For me, there's this very weird saying that actually they actually had the killer was the killer plus the principal.
You know what, guys? You know what, guys? I'm gonna at least me. I'm gonna go back and watch season 1.
Maybe that's a good idea. Yes, I agree.
Because I need to know. I'm trying to connect the dots. The math's not mathing for me, so.
It's been 2 years as well, so let's be honest. We don't know what happened. It's been 2 years, and is that the same? It really feels like actually they are making it up as they go sometimes.
Well, you also said that about From, and let's hope they got a solution this season. Which, by the way, guys, our From series will return. Yay!
Yeah, so I guess we can wrap up for this episode because it's getting long now.
Oh, I was thinking, you said it.
But so far, I would say so. So, would you, if you had to give one person that would be the killer so far, who would it be for you? One person.
I'm still sold on Christian. Sorry.
Okay, for me, it's going to be that girl, that woman in the church. Don't know her name.
Okay. Well, we'll see when episode 4 comes out. We're one step closer to solving this mystery.
2 days time.
Until then, as always, I'm Anthony.
I'm David.
See you next week.
See you next week.